Okay, so I have been using the AirPods Pro 3 for over a week now, and I can say that they are super comfortable. They're easy to live with. I mean, I've actually taken these everywhere from work, travel, gym, and just work around in my apartment doing nothing. So I just want to show you guys how these actually fit into my daily routine and whether you should go for either these or maybe the AirPods Pro 2. So without further ado, let's get this video started. Now, to begin with, the AirPods Pro 3 goes for $300, about the amount of how the AirPods Pro 2 used to cost before it came down in price. Now you might find the AirPods Pro 2 for somewhere around $200 or $150, which is super nice. And Apple actually just released a free update where you get a lot of features on the AirPods Pro 2, which in some cases, it's actually really worth it. Now, don't get me wrong, the AirPods Pro 3, when you actually try them on, oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, it gets pretty lonely. Now, when it comes down to the unboxing, you get the standard Apple-like box, which is just simple, clean. I mean, everything is nice, but when you start opening everything, removing the manual, taking everything out, and you just see that there are no chargers, like not a single cable, man, I don't know what to do. Like at this point, I felt like I know Apple wants to push the fact that we might already have a USB-C, but at the same time, giving us a USB-C, I don't feel like nobody's gonna die. Like Apple keeps doing this thing where they just eliminate all the options we have. Soon, we are not even gonna get the box. Now, one thing I noticed that was super different was the ergonomical design. Like these ones fit better, I mean, they seal better, and also they just fit into your ear canals so nice that you don't really feel that they are actually there until you tweak and try them on. But like Apple kind of finalized how the AirPods were supposed to sit, and comparing these to the AirPods Pro 2, you will actually feel the difference. And then Apple talked about the foam and silicone that you get on the ear tips, which I mean, it has been fantastic. I've been jumping around, trying to do different stuff. And I mean, these just sit in my ear. I never had any problem with these. Neither did I have any problem with the AirPods Pro 2 because they just fit. Now, if you were like me who just like to pack super small and tiny, I mean, these are so nice because they fit so well in your pocket. No stress, you just need to put them in and then you don't even notice that they are there. And yes, they might be slightly bigger than the AirPods Pro 2, but that is only because Apple decided to put in some new features like better microphone, a new sensor, the heart rate reader, better water resistant, and also a new adaptive audio setup. A little bit bigger, but at least super easy to carry, unless you carry one of these, which might just be a pain. And then after a week of actually using this, I mean, 8 hours as Apple actually explained, is super good for the average casual user. Now, you might be asking like, what is a pro user and all that? Well, if you actually use them very often, then those 8 hours will mean that you need to charge them very frequently. Because when you have the ANCs always active, or maybe you just have the AI doing its thing, adapting to different mode or environment, then those battery drains fast. And if you use them as I did, answering calls, going to the gym, testing them out, then those battery actually drains fast. But if you are somebody who just use them once in a while, then they will actually hold for a longer period of time. I mean, I even used these, I slept with them, listening to music 3 a.m. when I was traveling, and I couldn't sleep at the hotel, so I decided to just put in my earbuds and just activate the noise cancellation. And after that, I just literally put on a sleeping music on Spotify, which really helped me. Okay, so it's 7 a.m. and I haven't slept anything tonight. And I don't know if it's just me or this happens to everybody out there, but like, I do have a hard time sleeping in hotels and all that. I don't know if it's just stress because I am on a work trip or just the fear of actually coming late. I don't know what that is, but and then I remember that I had the AirPods with me, so what I actually did was to pop them in my ears 3 a.m. in the morning. Well, did I sleep? Not really, but at the same time, like these were always in my ears, so the battery drained faster than I actually expected. And then if you're going to compare this with the AirPods Pro 2, then you are pretty good because the AirPods Pro 2 only gives you somewhere around 6 hours of battery life, and then 30 hours of listening time, which is super great. But the AirPods Pro 3 gives you 8 hours of battery life. But what Apple really did here, I don't really understand, because you only get 24 hours of listening time, which is kind of crazy, but at the same time you do get big AI features which kind of like levels everything out. So I mean, it's still good. And then one thing I really like is the fact that I only have one cable, which is a USB-C that charges all of my devices. It doesn't really matter if it's my mic, my Pro Max, my phone, my camera. It just feels super nice. So when I was actually opening the box, I felt like Apple should have at least give us a USB-C so we would actually have that one on standby. Because after several years, I mean, your USB-C or my USB-C is starting to look like this, and this might just be a problem and maybe cause fire in the nearest future. At the end of the day, not getting a USB-C was kind of poor. Well, I mean, the Pro 2s came with USB-C, and even the Max came with USB-C, but Apple was like, no, 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 not today. You get MagSafe charging and you're kind of good. I'm like, now let's just be honest, I lose my earbuds every single time, like especially when I'm outdoors or just want to take them off and put them in my ears. I don't know, for some reason they just decide to fall off. And the Find My tracking on these is just chef's kiss. You can track the case and the earbuds separately, and it gives you a precise direction. And once you're close, you can just press the earbuds ringtone to play, and yeah, that is just nice because I basically use that every single time. I even saw a couple of videos where people were just asking their friends or family member to hide the earbuds so they could just find them and see if it actually works. And to my expectation, I mean, it's so accurate. Now, apart from all the good sides, let's talk about the things I really don't like, and that just has to be build quality. I mean, this thing is a dust collector. Airwax, lint, dust, sweat. I mean, every single thing, it just sticks. And since this thing is glossy and shiny, you will actually see it because you can't really run away from that. So giving somebody else to listen to music is always super scary. And I just feel like, well, Apple should have maybe gone for some other type of colors, but understand that the white is iconic and this is what Apple wants to do. But at the same time, the way it collects scratch, dust, lint, all those things is just concerning sometimes. Because inside this thing, you do have magnetics and electronic, of course. So the outer shell plastic literally grabs every fabric particles there is. And sometimes it might be disturbing, sometimes you don't really care. But after a lot of scratches and after a lot of dents on these, well, it's all up to you. The touch control is a cool thing, but I don't really think many people use it that much for Siri. Yes, you might use it for answering calls, playing music, skipping music and all that, but the touch control is just basically that. But being able to use this to snap pictures, start recording, especially when you're like 5 feet away, you can always stop and continue the recording by pressing and holding. That is just nice. I mean, I do use my Apple Watch sometimes to frame myself in the picture to know where I am, and then I'll use the AirPods 3 to actually start the recording. And another thing I really love with these is that they are IP57 rated, which means they are resistant to sweat and rain. So if you work out a lot, don't worry, you're not gonna have any issues. And then in addition to that is the new heart rate sensor that the earbuds have, which I really find super cool because what they actually do is that they either choose from your Apple Watch or the earbuds, depending on which one reads or collects the most data, and then it shows on your phone. Now, there are some cases where you might forget your Apple Watch at home, and then you can use the earbuds as a way to monitor your heart rate in many ways, which I feel that is cool. But in some other cases, I don't really feel many people are going to utilize them as they are supposed to be done. Now, I'm not saying that the heart rate sensors on the AirPod is whack. All I'm literally saying is that for those people who normally uses the Apple Watch, including myself, I might find these a little bit distracting where I need to go into an app and then find how many calories and how long I've been working out. It's just super distracting. That is basically why I go with the Apple Watch every single time whenever I am working out, because these are just nice. But yes, there are some scenarios where my Apple Watch might basically die on me, or maybe I forget my Apple Watch at home. Then these are fantastic as well. And if there's something I want to give Apple credit for, is the connectivities on these, because It connects to my phone and my iPad. It doesn't really matter what I'm doing. I was watching a movie on my iPad just recently, and then I wanted to answer a call. Immediately, I took up my phone and swiped. It connected to my phone. Like I could literally speak to the person. And when I was done, I literally just went back to my iPad and pressed play on the movie, and they were already connected. So the connection on these are so seamless that it kind of make you question how Apple literally does this. Like the ecosystem on these is just crazy. Now, when it comes out to noise cancellation, there's so many products out there that says, oh, we have the best noise cancellation out there. But like these has to be the best ANCs I have ever tested. Like when I tried this on with the right ear tips, I mean, everything was just dead quiet. Like these were just so good that I couldn't even hear somebody screaming from the other end. I was literally traveling with this, doing so many things. It was just one of the best noise cancellation I have ever literally just put in my ears. And the fact that you do have adaptive mode, like this depends on what situation you are in. Now, how this works is that whenever you are listening to music, it's on noise cancellation. As soon as you start a conversation with somebody else or something happens from the outside where somebody speaks to you, that is when it goes to transparency mode so you can hear them clear. And this was super helpful when I was traveling because when the train chauffeur started announcing stuff, it immediately just stopped and I could hear what it was saying. And when it was done, it took like 3 to 5 seconds and it went back to noise cancellation. And I was just listening to my music, which I felt what? That was one of the best feeling ever. So what do I actually think about the AirPod 3 after using them for over a week? Well, they are so nice. You can take them anywhere, whether it's work, travel, casual stuff. Yes, it's small, it's comfortable, and it's super easy to carry around. Now, is it any better than the AirPods Pro 2? Yes, it actually is. And that is because it seals better, it fits better, and the ANCs are just fantastic. Now, I'm not going to take anything away from the AirPods Pro 2 because they are fantastic as well. The only thing I might see a big difference is the AI features, maybe the battery life, and also the new design that the earbuds may have, or else, and it doesn't really have a big difference. On top of that, you do get the AirPods Pro 2 for a lot cheaper, somewhere around 100 to 200 depending on where you actually look for them. But yes, the AirPods Pro 3 is the most underrated product that Apple actually makes. These are everyday carry. I mean, you can just wear them or carry them anywhere without any problem. And the only place I might find it a little bit disturbing is the fact that they collect a lot of lint, dust, and dirt. Or else, I mean, these are just fantastic. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Are you gonna buy the AirPods Pro 3 or do you already have one of them? And if you actually do, let me know what you guys think. Without further ado, I'll see you guys next week.